qualifying matchup, they decide to go with what works best. It's Loyi, a signature pick on the man who immortalized himself in the game with this pick at the M6 World Championship. Only difference is it's been changed. Now you're visible. Welcome to Atlanta Dawn. HomeBois, can they deal with this?
And imagine these are also some of the picks which Super Friends introduced the entire idea of the Brave Smite emblems to as well. So we're seeing that as we bring up the emblem build, a very tanky Loyi emblem build at that. So it's Tenacity, Brave Smite, and the same goes for Brusco. And it seems like they're banking on the idea of really spamming their skills or as much as they can with that additional cooldown reduction that they have.
Could be the case with the Tenacity on both. Yeah, they might just be looking for a... Oh, that was pretty early from Brusco. Okay. Yeah, an interesting sight to behold here early on. Master Assassin on the other side for MelQT in the gold lane, really still playing towards the strength of the Moskov again, up against the Granger. Still feels the confidence, even though we've been talking about it. He hasn't really been able to perform at the level we expected him, especially after watching MPL Malaysia. Everybody else seems pretty normal, nothing too crazy.
Except for that early flicker, I guess, that we really saw. But I probably it was just playing safe since he saw that Ivan was nearby, but King Kong tries to damage Vel just a bit since it might not be an easy task to actually go for the early pickup on the CC at this point. So I like how HomeBois are actually being very careful of where they decide to position themselves, and not just careful, with just the right amount of aggression at that. It seems like they really want to attempt and contest this first objective.
Yeah, mid-prio already. You can see the damage from Frizz. Vel not level 4 yet. Guess level 4 late. This should be free, but Amal walks up.
Okay, Infernal Pursuits coming in from Kirk, but so will the Flicker because the curtain call was already committed, but that's already enough time for King Kong to secure the objective, and HomeBois will just play safe. There's a diversion. Where could they go? So I mean, if this is the case, you'll always have to be careful if you're HomeBois, right?
Yeah. This is the thing, you know, me and Midnight actually have spoken about a few things with the Loyi change. We thought that would make the Loyi obsolete in the meta, but the way that we saw Sans play it, that was the first time, that was the only time we've seen Loyi before this, by the way, guys, is Sans using it in a way where it just scares your opponents. He would just use the diversion to give vision to the opponents. Opponents see the Loyi diversioning and they're like, oh, where do we go? They're behind us, they overthink.
Oh, Ivan finds Brusco. They decide to burst him down. There's the Fistcrake already. Amal will have enough damage. They secure first blood in this game. So, yeah, when you mentioned that, I was worried about HomeBois and their capabilities of scouting out where ONIC PH might be, checking the brushes and all that. But it seems like the call is just Izanami, or Ivan rather, committing the crowd control skills. If there's a target, then so be it. They have the tools to burst him down.
Now it's Izanami who walks up. Amal. Wow, early Purify. Yeah, ONIC Philippines are giving HomeBois so much respect in the early game. That flicker early from Brusco, now the instant Purify from Super Friends right as the skill 1 landed. And Kelra's doing a good job in lane right now. MelQT's got to be careful.
Yeah, the matchup and the laning phase might be quite the struggle here for MelQT, but what's important is really just holding on, being the Moskov here and doing other things across the map later on when needed from your team. But HomeBois, they're the ones holding the brush again. Get to find Brusco, targets him down. Better Airstrike already committed, but King Kong will be just right in time. But nonetheless, it's still Brusco who gets picked off first on the Badang.
Great punish. HomeBois are really just utilizing the pace of ONIC Philippines and slowing it way down. They are holding angles instead of opening up the map because they know ONIC are the ones who are going to do that. Kirk holding onto the turtle. It will just be a free one for King Kong. So yeah, HomeBois, it's all about reactions from them. They've just been reacting to the moves of ONIC Philippines and punishing them. Diversion up top.
Oh, MelQT used the Spear of Misery, also has the Flicker, but the Phantom Execution, Thornrose will catch up, will keep himself safe under the turret, and Amal might just catch up to King Kong. Electrifying Beats already committed. Oh, the SOT also lands, and MelQT decides to go in, but then there's just the right timing coming in from Kirk, but he gets punished, brought under the turret, while he still gets to commit the Dark Wave and the Infernal Pursuits, but he's up against 4, and he won't be able to survive that.
And again, HomeBois have just read ONIC Philippines out all the way from the early stages of the game. Yes, they haven't been able to get neutral objectives, but it goes to show how ONIC Philippines have been the ones proactively moving around the map. They've been proactively getting the position around neutral objectives, so they get the advantage there. But when it comes to just pure setup in team fights, HomeBois have had ONIC Philippines' number.
And it's not even being reactive in a bad way.
It's a good reaction,
It's a good reaction that we're seeing from HomeBois because they've been holding the brushes really well. I would expect the faster rotations to come in from them, but it seems like they're using that to their advantage in a different way to just outposition ONIC PH and find the right timings to go in and surprise them. But there's another diversion. Ivan spots where they're planning to go though, so him and MelQT will be able to keep themselves safe, while ONIC at this point, might be settling to work on the objectives for now.
Yeah. A lot of times teams just panic whenever they see ONIC Philippines, make these crazy moves, play with the pace that we have known them to play with. But HomeBois, again, have just stayed calm and composed, and that's been what ONIC Philippines have been struggling with. They just cannot seem to understand the tempo of HomeBois. They cannot seem to understand, like, why aren't HomeBois making mistakes when we're constantly rotating around the map, popping these diversions? So it comes down to the objective battle still, and when we're talking about that, it is still ONIC Philippines who hold the lead. And it's a big bounty on Amal that ONIC PH can claim. So comeback potential still on ONIC and even the lead.
Although the goal lead hasn't been growing that much between these two teams, this might be an opening for HomeBois to do just that. They are in full control of the turtle. Ivan too uses the conceal, but Brusco finds the target and somehow Kirk gets the last hit on the turtle. Now they're chasing after HomeBois. There goes the Phantom Execution. King Kong finds the kill onto Bell, and Kelra gets access to Ive. Is it Namine? Oh, but MelQT goes in!
With the SOD, Amal cleans them up. What a steal by ONIC Philippines. Trying to adapt to this chess game that we've been having in the Lanadon between HomeBois and ONIC Philippines. But right as they pull the trigger again, play aggressively, it's punished by HomeBois. So this game has literally just been about waiting for overextensions and punishing. You see that from ONIC Philippines, punishing HomeBois for making the proactive play on Turtle, and then it's ONIC with the chase and another punish from HomeBois. That's what we've been seeing in the Lanadon. It's a punish battle, and I don't know who's winning. Because again, kills, HomeBois, but everything else seemed to be ONIC Philippines. So it's still a very even game.
And this is surprising to see for a team who is very well calculated in terms of their decisions. ONIC Philippines are the ones constantly being punished. King Kong versus Amal won't be proceeding with the fight just yet, but the Fettered Airstrike is already committed. It gets cancelled by the Dark Wave, and look at the damage from Kelra. Seems like he's getting some stacks in already with that Ranger. And this might be the change in tempo that they need, because they're able to group up a bit more and just let King Kong do King Kong things on the Lancelot. I mean, the first few times he did use the Lancelot back then, it was always this kind of play. It's not just looking for the fights just yet. It's really working on other things and farming up until you feel confident enough to join the fight. Although that may not be entirely applicable for the Lancelot now.
And now they slow the game entirely. ONIC Philippines, I think they understood, what HomeBois have been doing in the early game, just adapting to that fast pace. And ONIC Philippines slowed down their own tempo by a whole lot, utilizing the diversions to play with that overthinking. Brusco!
Oh, finds the target onto MelQT. Kelra doesn't get enough damage, doesn't land the right amount of bullets just yet though. Okay, somehow, this is a good standing for MelQT and a really good situation for him. 2-0-2 on that Moskov.
Yep, really good stuff. Ivan walks up, Tsunami Slam!
He decides to commit it onto Kirk, who still has the flicker to somehow get out. Curtain Call already committed by Vel as well. So those are 2 ultimates already used. Actually, maybe 3 even, because Izanami doesn't have his Feathered Airstrike as well.
Big resources burnt out. ONIC Philippines with a slowdown on the tempo. That could have been the read. Kirk jumps in again.
Oh, Ivan trying to look for the knockup, and he finds it. King Kong, though, keeps himself alive long enough to also find the kill. SOD will not land onto anyone, and ONIC secures the objective. And there goes the shutdown kill onto Amal. They get damaged by the Feathered Airstrike, but will they catch up to MelQT? No!
Wow. Well played, Mel. That was a really good spot to recall. Just a pixel away from being outside of the bush. Really played around with those small little margins to get away. ONIC Philippines, though, again, have slowed the game down to a point where they are comfortable. They've gone back to their previous style of when teams don't panic up against them, which is, I think this is like an old M3 style ONIC Philippines stats. It's the banana split. They've just been constantly splitting up the map, playing it slowly, utilizing the diversion to get back into contention of the big neutral objectives. And that's what the big lead is all about now for ONIC Philippines. It's about getting structures and objectives. Kills still behind, another diversion to get them closer to the big objective that they want to get, which is definitely that base turret up top as they siege down. And Kelra, he's only had one Sky Piercer, but one big fight could change everything.
Yep. It's nice to see ONIC adapting to the on-the-fly, introducing those very familiar play styles too, which definitely are working for them here in this kind of situation. They've got some of the most crucial kills, the shutdown gold on Amal as well, and if the gold lead was very small up until the, I'd say, 7 or 8 minute mark of this game, now it's ballooned to 5K in their hands. So it's looking to be a very difficult situation for HomeBois, but at least they have the tools to defend. They have the Farsa and the Moskov to somehow deal with the waves that are coming in. But now ONIC PH, they might find, or they might seem a lot more confident to just go in with those surprise setups from Brusco if he finds another key target similar to how he has done it earlier.
But that's the point now for ONIC Philippines, right? Early game, they were still reaching for a lead. That's why we saw, again, that fast-paced combo from ONIC, constantly looking for something around the map. Ivan, Tsunami Slam, but that's what the Purify is for.
Yeah.
Great reaction again. Back to the point, ONIC don't need to look for those surprises anymore. They can constantly throw feints like this, diversions to open up the map, but the early game where there was a lot of desperate moves from ONIC Philippines won't be seen here because they already have a 5,600 gold lead and they'll just play for the next neutral objective.
Blade armor already picked up by Kirk as well. So ONIC PH definitely at this point have a lot more ways to deal with the surprises that can come in from HomeBois too if ever they're the ones who want to do that, because Ivan has been very consistent in looking for targets and looking for those setups. Even just by looking at Kelra and Malcutie, Kelra just needs one more item to complete his build on this Ranger. Oh, and King Kong might just find a kill down bottom. He's looking for the kill on Vel. SOD will land, but they might not commit this anymore unless Ivan wants to actually go for it. Doesn't fight the knock-up onto King Kong. Somehow gets to immune himself though. But then Malcutie, he gets stunned by Kirk, so he won't be able to supply the damage. And that's 3 kills already for ONIC, making it 4 because Kelra, he finds a triple.
A forced engage from HomeBois. Very unnecessary and very weird to say, because in this game it's been a calm and composed HomeBois. They suddenly make a desperate play and it might cost them the game. 1 second on Vel. 2 base turrets will fall. ONIC again. They want to end.
The damage from King Kong doesn't even allow the feathered airstrike to be casted. And just in a split second, that's game number 1 for ONIC.
Wow. The calm before the storm. We saw the storm and it was instant. How? That was setting up to be a longer game. It ended quick for ONIC Philippines.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this game is really a game of patience as well as discipline, where both teams are really talking about, okay, we know the strengths of each of us, but I kind of feel like maybe HomeBois just took that a little bit too far, because I kind of feel like they have the right idea. But this is why we usually criticize this kind of gameplay, is that you don't look for those opportunities, right? So I kind of feel like it's a good idea to wait for those opportunities to present themselves, but once you have like a small enough lead, try to extend it. I feel like that's the only thing that they didn't do, is that they didn't extend it.
There has to be a switch. There has to be capitalization on top of the punishments. But I agree with you completely, Lafel. I think here for HomeBois, the game plan was just react to ONIC Philippines with one style. They expected ONIC Philippines to come in, guns blazing, and that's it. They didn't really prepare for a slower ONIC Philippines, a smarter ONIC Philippines, who, again, took the game by themselves, just by controlling the tempo.
Yeah, by the moment King Kong just decided to not go for the fights anymore, just focus on the objectives, and when they wanted to do the same, just allow Kelra to maybe go for the double lanings and secure the farmings every now and then. It was a completely different story here for HomeBois, because the rotations didn't come in as fast anymore from ONIC PH, so there weren't much room for them to anticipate where they could be coming from and just catch them by surprise.
I kind of feel like the thing about going up against ONIC Philippines where you're trying to stall out the game is that you figure that your late game is pretty strong with the Moscow as well as the Farsa. But again, one of the reasons why we talk about the Lance is that Lance kind of feels like a late game assassin now where he basically can one-shot you. So I kind of feel like they didn't really put that into consideration where they feel like they can outplay King Kong the moment he comes in, either with Ivan or Vel just punish that mistake. But again, the front line coming in, Kirk as well as Brusco, just opens up the team fight so much. There's a lot of opportunities for King Kong to go in without getting punished.
Yeah, there was an opportunity for HomeBois a couple of times when they were in the lead, but they really just didn't take it. They still wanted to play the reactive game. They still wanted to punish an overextending ONIC Philippines, and that's what you need to have, ladies and gentlemen. When one style of your play, one style gets countered, you have to change. You have to adapt.
And I kind of feel like this is the problem because we saw yesterday the exact opposite. They try to force everything, and now they're being very reactive, which kind of shows that maybe they're not entirely sure what's the best play style for them. And now they only have one game to really adapt going up against ONIC Philippines, where they, like Brigitte said, adjust mid-game.
That's going to be tough for HomeBois, though, if that was already the idea for their overnight adjustment or probably meeting, that they might have to be the ones to be a little more reactive, considering that ONIC is indeed a very aggressive team. But definitely they could learn a thing or two from this game, that they too can pick up the pace whenever they want to and not get overhyped, because I feel like there were moments too for HomeBois that maybe they realized down the line that they actually have to be a little more decisive too. And I feel like that was most evident in that last sequence we saw down bottom, because it was right before an objective. Ivan seemed like he still wanted to force something even when Vel was already down.
With this conversation moving through, I kind of want to go back to the interview with Kelro. Well, Kelro said during M6, no one could figure out how to play. So they were able to stomp the competition. It looks like in MSC, people are starting to figure out how they play. And it does look like HomeBois, they've prepared going up against ONIC Philippines, where, yes, they lost. Yes, it was very passive. But at the same time, I feel like it was a very good effort.
Yeah, it was a great plan, great game plan by the coaching staff. But then when it came to the execution of adapting again into the later stage of the game, it got really difficult. So to go back to the point that Brigitte mentioned, the decisiveness, I actually thought that was indecisive by HomeBois. Because yes, Ivan went in, but everybody were confused. Everybody's like, no, we don't want to go in. And that's why Ivan jumped in alone, gets a tsunami slam, and then the team's like, all right, he's already in, we have to go. We can't just leave him alone because that'll be a free lord. Then they went in. So you have to stay decisive, no hesitation, right? The team hesitated, but I also honestly feel like it was a bad call.
Agreed. And now look at King Kong, because he understood, like, they're not going to go for a fight, so
just farm.
Might as well farm. And again, I really feel like Lancelot has been transitioning into more of a mid-late game hero where you can literally just one-shot people. 901 gold per minute in 13 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's high.
Especially considering it's a 9-7 kill score. You know, it's not like they got like 30 kills and HomeBois only got 2.
Yeah.
The game started with HomeBois getting a lot more from ONIC BH2. So it's amazing to see how he balanced it out just by being very consistent in terms of farming. And so maybe that's another thing, consistency for both of these teams, but not in a way that should restrict you, because it felt like HomeBois wanted to be consistent with what they were doing all the way, and that's not how it should have worked for them if they wanted to win that game.
Yeah.
And now I have a bit of a hot take.
Okay.
All right?
Oh my.
Hot take.
Presented by Al Habib Medical Group. Now, to be fair, it's not really a part of this matchup, but it's something that I've been holding in, which is, my hot take is, I want a meta, at least for 1 month, to be a lot about fighters. Because I kind of feel like all the fighters, the designs are so cool. Like we see the Leomar, the Tavos, the Ruby. Honestly, like even Argus.
Lapu.
Like I kind of feel like we're stuck into the maximum of one fighter, maybe two, putting fighters inside the jungle. Because look at all the fighters. They're so cool, but we can't use them.
I mean, there are rubies now.
There are rubies now.
Yeah, but remember the draft where there's like 2-3 fighters.
the Thamas, back in the
Yeah.
day, like the constant rotations and the team fighting.
Basically,
That,
just keep fighting all the time. Like I'm not saying
team
like
fights.
for a few years, maybe just like at least a month, you know, just to let gold laners, mid laners, junglers feel that fighter sensation, and then after that, all right, go back to standard. You know, maybe like an off season or something.
yeah, I would actually love that. I would actually
I
love to
agree.
see a little bit more of a different meta here because we have kind of been in the same meta roughly from M3 to
Hello.
now.
Yeah,
No,
quite-
M3 was the last time we actually saw a lot of fighters.
Yeah.
So after M3, it was just whoop, and
Because
we
we
are
still
stuck.
don't have the Yuzong. We still don't have the Yuzong, and I'm pretty sure the audience
Once.
wants a Yuzong.
We did an MWI, but
As a mid laner, I don't want a Yuzong, but hey, we gotta think about the audience here.
I agree. As a gold laner, I do not want to use Zong either. But you know what? No, I'm just gonna say no now because I want to save my KDA in the lane of Dawn.
okay. But hopefully we do get there, or maybe we're getting there. Earlier this day, there was a Dairoth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I want, you know, like
Yeah.
more fighters, because now it's like it has to be a marksman.
At least there are less Uranus. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I don't like the Uranus.
Before this, there's zero Uranus. Now, even when it's meta, it's very not picked.
That's true.
It's
Right?
with the sustain heroes like this, like the Esme and Uranus, it's so hard to balance because when you buff them too much, it becomes super prio. It conquers the game, but when you nerf them too much, it just
Non-existent.
completely irrelevant.
Non-existent. Like the moment you pick it up, people will smash you for it.
Yeah, it's like, why are you
Emotionally.
trolling in my
Why
game?
are you trolling my game? Like, guys, this guy is trolling. Report. And then they win. It's like, I got good teammates.
The switch up is crazy.
Yeah,
They'll be
it's
like,
very
oh my
crazy.
god, this guy, he's trolling in my draft, and then he wins, and you're like, that's my boy, that's my GOAT. He's
Hey.
always been my GOAT.
Number one Esme in the world.
Number one.
Why is
Yeah.
it so hard to balance fighters?
So that's my hot take. I hope you guys have a different hot take, because I'm
You
pretty
agree?
sure someone wants a lot more mages, a lot more assassins.
I want to see more Mias.
More.
No?
Okay.
No? More
Why?
Mias?
It's like you know, like in those games where you either have the godly Mia, or worse that I can't even say on broadcast.
You've had a
kinda
godly
Mia.
Mia in your game?
Oh, I have.
Oh,
No,
wow.
In Malaysia, we had this friendly agreement between ranked players for 1 week. It was just 1 week, but in that 1 week, there's a lot of Mia. After that, not so much.
was
But yeah,
this
that,
like,
that was a fun 1 week.
when was that? Like right after the patch? Or
I mean, you don't know because you weren't playing rank in Malaysia. It's not a tournament thing. It's a rank thing.
It's a rank thing.
It's a rank
Okay.
I played
Okay.
ranked games in Malaysia. Trust me, everything is still meta there, especially when you're solo queuing, man. So if you guys want to try new picks, like,
Hey,
Hey,
that's why you boot camp in Malaysia.
yeah.
There's a lot of what ifs happening every single game. You're always prepared.
fast internet, good food, everything is
Crazy
good.
picks.
Everything is meta.
Just don't solo queue.
Hey, or do solo queue
so you can learn.
so you can learn, so you can be
Limit
better.
test.
If you play with your team, you're just gonna win all the time. What do you learn by winning?
You don't. You don't learn as much as the losers. Yes, but I think you would want to win.
Yeah.
$1 million.
Okay.
Right now, I want to talk about the all-stars here because, hey, it's been crazy. It's been wild. And it's only going to be here up until the 5th of August. So make sure you guys play the game right now because you can still get the Popol and Koopa skin. But make sure you guys do all the tasks, again, up until August 5th. Going up into this matchup, I kind of feel like HomeBois have roughly the same idea.
Yeah.
I'm just worried if they switch it up a little bit too much. Because I kind of feel like the foundation is there. It just needs polishing. Maybe even waxing. Maybe even pomading.
I agree, dude. I really agree with HomeBois here because I think the draft wasn't really that bad.
Yeah.
They actually had a proper draft and it showed in the game because they were able to outplay ONIC Philippines a couple of times through reacting. It's just now how the players execute the game plan a bit better. After reacting to those plays, punishing ONIC Philippines, we need to see a level of capitalization that we didn't see in game one that should be present here. And yes, they don't change anything so far. It's the same game plan coming into game two.
Yeah, so probably for HomeBois, in terms of draft, still sticking to these kinds of lineups, unlike those we saw yesterday, because yesterday might have been a bit too extreme in terms of what they wanted to try. This kind of approach feels a little more comfortable for them. It's just that the execution is what needs to be polished a bit, or whatever
Yeah.
you said. Like,
I'm not entirely sure how Ivan is comfortable with pick-off heroes, because the thing in Malaysia, even Chiku said, one of the better play styles of Malaysia is pick-off heroes, and we saw the success with SRG picking up the Kalia. And even though HomeBois lost, I would say it does look good because you're able to punish your opponent's overextension. So I do want to see if HomeBois stick at least roughly the same idea. We need at least one catch hero, and then a hero that can punish by dealing just a lot of damage.
I just wonder why they keep banning the Eastern Shin, right? Because
They
their
could take it,
first pick now. I guess what that leads me to believe is the fact that I think HomeBois just don't play the Eastern Shin well, the composition.
Or they really want first pick Kalia, right? Which if ONIC Philippines ban it now, then it's going to be a bit awkward.
Kimmy ban, whoa, all right.
it's the exact same.
Yeah, no changes at all. This is...
And you know what they say? You pay it if you break it.
You what?
What?
You pay
Pay
it if you
for
break
it if you break
You
it.
pay for it if you break it?
Yeah, that's what they say. I've been to a few.
If it ain't
shops.
broke, don't fix it? Is that
Is that
what
the-
you were looking for?
That's the other one, which I guess can apply here. But you know,
Okay.
I just want to be different. Was I not different?
You
That
pay-
was very different.
That was very different.
Yeah,
Very different.
I liked it. I liked it. So if it's Killer Innocent and CW are the only players in this year who ever scored.
Savage.
Say
Yep.
correctly. Shut up and talk. Come on.
Okay,
Shut
okay,
up,
again. Keller Innocent and CW are the only players in this year's MSC who were able to secure a Savage.
Yes,
She
sir.
went very fast that one. She played by play that.
She played by play that one, and the Lancelot comes through, and
Oh.
ONIC Philippines responded instantly as well. So they play by play the draft here,
Whoa.
Kalea and Fovius. So that's a whole lot of appeal, my friend. ONIC have used the Lancelot really well because they've taken away some of these counters, and now the fact that ONIC Philippines have taken away, again, the two good picks against the Lancelot, this means the Lance isn't really going to be as slippery as we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, I just wonder if they'll still feel like they want to pick up the Farsa. In game number 1, they did that, even when the Lancelot was on the other side. Now it's in their side, so maybe they would, but they don't pick it up here. They actually plan to change things, except, or not the Farsa anymore. Okay, so Lancelot, Gatot, Harry.
I kind of feel like the Gatot is #1, a way to counter a lot of what ONIC Philippines could do, including if they pick up a Farsa or any kind of assassins. At least with the Unbreakable, you're able to counter it out. And I kind of feel like for Mel Cutie, he just wants something that has the possibility of actually winning the lane. Because I kind of feel like that's part of the not good thing about the previous draft was that he was not able to get out of lane. Like, you pick up the Moscow with the SOD trying to get there, but then you don't get it. And then now they pick up the Fanny.
Yeah.
And there's no catch.
There
Or
is-
no point and click catch.
Yeah, no point and click catch. They have a taunt, yes, but that isn't really reliable when you're up against a Fanny. I think this is the first time where I'll say the Fanny actually looks good. The other times that we've been seeing the Fanny, it's been, I think, bad
It's still
picks
0%.
into like,
Still
yeah,
0%, yeah.
really good drafts against the Fanny that could just peel away for the carries. Now, 0%. Let's see if King Kong can actually turn the tide of that win rate. I'm personally hyped for this. They've set up perfectly for it. The Kalea, Fovius takeaway, now banning out the Badang too. HomeBois will respect the Beatrix. There you go.
Okay. That's funny though, because I think the most recent team who used the Fanny was HomeBois too. Like yesterday.
And it looked okay, honestly. Like, you know, Lancelot, the Fanny, they
Fanny.
always have okay games. They just can't close it
Wow.
out. That's
What?
the biggest problem.
Yeah, even the Kufa respect here.
They really want to enable this Fanny. So could they potentially be playing around this instead? What if ONIC PH... No. They need
What?
some...
Just say
What?
you're
Yeah,
right. Oh my
what's
God,
up?
I'm getting so
No,
annoyed.
I thought of it, but then I took it back because I realized they have no late game. But the fighter in the gold again.
Oh, like
So,
a
yeah.
Ruby?
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think that'll come out.
Yeah,
Again,
because
I think
they
that's a
don't
strat
have-
like when you have a marksman in the gold lane. In the jungle. So you already have a
Or
bit of
mid.
siege there, range there. Yeah, so could make sense by just peeling for the Yusun Shin in the jungle. Valen ban from HomeBois. That means, are they looking to go for like a Faramis?
That makes me wonder.
Granger comes out for ONIC Philippines. A safe choice in the gold lane for Kelra.
What is
What
the plan?
Yeah,
What
they
can
want a big
catch?
ultimate. But what is it going to be? What is that big ultimate?
Bell has used a Choi XP before. It didn't really work out, so I don't know if they want to go to that extent.
For
What
Vel.
other catch heroes that is available right now?
There's the Edith.
Even the EDIV is kind of like,
Yeah.
you have to get lucky-ish because you're not going up against any Fanny. It's King Kong's Fanny.
And like the Franco doesn't, you don't have a combo with the Franco yet, right? The Gata will then have to go XP
Unless
if
they're
you go
gonna.
Franco.
They go like Kadita and
Unless it can't be a
But would
Lucas
you
XP,
really
right?
ban the Valen if you want to go Kadita? Like, is the rough wave stat
no,
scary to give away?
because what other mid laners that can save themselves against a Fanny at this point? That's the only
Faramis.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking Faramis, like right now. Yeah, Valen ban usually leads to like an Edith Faramis choice.
Okay, so if they pick up a Faramis, they still need, in my opinion, a secondary finisher. So you kind of need your EXP laner to be someone that can actually dive to the back.
Honestly, like it's been so way back, but the Valentina is usually banned if there's a Lucas, supposedly, right? But I
Yeah.
don't think it's gonna like. I don't think they're gonna consider
No.
that either. So it's either the Faramis or
Because other mids like Farsa, even etc., just volatile towards the Fanny. So that's
And I think right
even
now,
Odette.
yeah. Oh.
oh
No, I don't think so. Right.
there's a
No, like-
knockup already for
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm thinking of all these huge ults
Yeah.
that you would ban a Valentina, and now I'm drawing a bit of a blank.
Yeah, I think my guess would be
Akai?
like a Franco and a Kai, to like
Akai,
try
yeah.
to stop the Fanny. Those two big ults that could stop the Fanny for sure as a stopper. But for ONIC Philippines, now that they have a Granger, Fanny, Kalea, and Phoveus, I think they have enough peel, they have enough distractions to distract HomeBois backline and to distract the Lancelot to open up for a Farsa. Because imagine Farsa Granger here up against the Harith. Harith ain't even gonna get close. Like, when you pop Zaman Force, you're already too low. And even then, you get punished by the Phoveus constantly jumping.
Yeah, I was also thinking if HomeBois wanted to consider that, but since there's a Fanny, maybe not.
Yeah.
So it looks.
Oh, they pick up the Farsa as well as the Edith, so they're gonna try it out.
Okay.
Okay, so it is.
Which, you know what?
Edith.
Respect. This might be your final game. Just
Guns blazing.
guns blazing,
Yep. Put all your marbles
in
Where?
the marble cup.
Is that what's called?
cup. That's a pretty big cup, man.
Everyone has a marble cup.
In Malaysia.
Some parts of the world, yeah, it's a big world. There's like 8 billion-ish people.
Oh my goodness.
Well, there seems to only be 2 picks in the mid lane so far in the series.
This is why I say I want more fighters.
Yeah, maybe we need the fighters in the mid lane to make it exciting, but for now, it'll be the same exact matchup, at least in the mid lane. Everything.
Yep.
Oh, Granger, 2. Okay.
Yeah, and right now, looking at the drafts here, I kind of feel like for both teams, they kind of got what they wanted. Doesn't seem like a lot of takeaways except for that Kalia. But now we really have to see, because ONIC Philippines looks like they learned a lot from game number 1 and took some crucial picks away from HomeBois. Now HomeBois, this is their potential last hurrah. We got to see if ONIC Philippines can close this out 2-0, or HomeBois has a lot to say about that. I'm tossing it over to Brigida as well as Mirko.
Thank you so much, Lofel, for that toss. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2. HomeBois take on ONIC Philippines. ONIC Philippines currently 1-0, holding match point to qualify and to send HomeBois back home. Will HomeBois be able to equalize? We'll find out in the Land of Dawn as Natan flies over to bring us right here, Amal on the Lancelot, King Kong on a signature Fanny.
I feel like we have to put a bit more emphasis on the way ONIC PH did take away crucial heroes from HomeBois, but they're playing it very aggressively. 36 minutes. Or seconds. They secure first blood. Oh my goodness. Super Prince on this Louis does not disappoint so far.
King Kong 2 already punishing. Knows the mid-prio is there for them, but this could be punished. No, they just get it straight up too. Wait, that was retreat by Amal. Did Amal get it? I didn't get to see the XPs. Oh, King Kong knows he already used retreat, so he wants to battle for this little camp. He's got to be careful though. He's wasting precious time.
He still has the retribution, but is he gonna use it there? He actually did. He just wanted to deny it so much from Amal.
He's so petty, man. He's like, okay, you steal that one, I'll take another one, huh? What you gonna do next, huh? You have no retreat. Oh, man. Well, it's a big lead for ONIC Philippines, like you said at the start of the game. You really need to respect the Kalea level 1, dude. I think This hero's been out for a while. I don't know why players still go and fight level 1 Kalea with, especially Lo Yi. This is like the worst comp to go up against level 1.
And it feels like it's always been the Farsas who get punished in the early game. Like, I know there's the wings by wings, so you get a chance to position yourself somewhere faster than your opponents, but that's something that's just read out by most teams by now. So clearly, ONIC PH have anticipated that rotation coming in from HomeBois so far, and now they're working on the EXP lane. Definitely would want to get some help from Kirk as they try or maybe attempt to go for this first objective, but that diversion was something visible though. Oh, they instead go for a Mal, forces him to puncture out of it. Onward already committed now onto Kirk, and he might not be able to get away. That's an objective for HomeBois. Could they get another kill? Okay, that's a 2 for the turtle trade so far for HomeBois.
Yeah, King Kong gets the purple, and there's no punish by Mel. He pops in some on-force, but doesn't have the unlead dashes just yet. ONIC Philippines, that was strange from them. They went in knowing King Kong didn't even want to fight. He was already at the purple buff, didn't look like he was interested, and now goes into battle again for this green cap.
Yep, I had the same thoughts. I was wondering why they wanted to commit it so much, but Izanami, wings by wings out. And again, I wonder what the call was, because even Super Prince, the diversion was committed, but HomeBois was fully aware of where he was gonna come from. Now I think we can take a quick look at the emblem build so far. Still the same for Super Prince. I think it's pretty standard for most of the heroes so far. Even Vel just has a bit of the attack speed here.
The only thing not standard is the tenacity for Super Prince, but that's standard if we use Game 1 as a reference. That was the same choice of emblems for Super Prince. Again, wanting to be in the front, just playing with the spacing, playing with the sustain of the Brave Smite too. Firmness, I guess, for the Kalea is a bit different. I think previous game it was put yourself together, and agility for Ivan. Another airstrike coming down on Brusco. Good taunt too.
Oh, Tsunami Slam already committed now onto Ivan, but he gets to AOG himself out, but King Kong will chase after him. There are 3 members of HomeBois though whom he might go up against. Nearly got punished, but gets the flyaway.
This could be a rare case of, you know, a rusty Fanny. ONIC Philippines, yeah, they haven't really been able to get the value out of King Kong's Fanny. Maybe a lack of practice because it just never gets left open. He's gonna have to shake that rust real quick because HomeBois have a pretty amazing draft to take it to mid to late, right? Like, they all scale. They can play it slow in the early game, and they've already won Turtle 1.
The most action we've seen was when they were stealing away jungle creeps from each other in the early stages of the game, and that might have happened once again. King Kong's ahead by a level though, up against Amal. So this time around, ONIC PH might have decided that they want to take on this fight, but HomeBois have enough resources. Oh, the Earth Shatter gets dodged, however. They might try to go and punish Vel. This time around, Primal Wrath gets committed, but Amal really gets his hands on the objective. It's ONIC PH wanting to fight back.
King Kong jumps in with a cutthroat. Only goes on Vel. Yeah, they lose Ivan for Brusco, 1 for 1, but obviously it's worth it for HomeBois who got the turtle. Clean take for HomeBois. Diversion over. They got to be careful here. They decide to go up top, and it'll just be capitalization. This time, it's already different. They've improved from what we saw in Game 1. After getting kills, after getting the punishes, they capitalize with objectives, with even stealing away camps in enemy jungle.
Oh. Mal could have been caught there, but no one else was near Brusco either way. But yeah, clearly improvements from HomeBois, and somehow a sort of similar situation to how ONIC encountered the early game in game number 1 as well. Or it's also probably just because, again, as you've mentioned, we haven't been seeing the value just yet come in from the Fanny. They haven't been able to maximize the early game presence from this Fanny, even despite that level lead that it's been able to establish so far earlier on. It's been evened out by now. It's already Amal catching up, only 100 gold behind King Kong.
For ONIC Philippines, the one hope that they still have, especially when we get to the later stage of the game, will be Kelra. 700 gold ahead, still in this game. Another diversion to send them into mid lane. Yeah, ONIC Philippines, at this point of the game, they just have to team fight better than HomeBois. The HomeBois are not making it easy. Good poke.
Yep. Duality.
Amazing poke.
They've been able to poke Ivan and Vel down really low. Could have broken out to a fight, but HomeBois decide to play it safe and might just be a good call since there is only 8 seconds left before the next objective. So they could keep themselves alive before then, but it seems like they're planning to do something in the mid lane.
Battle for Turtle. Mid prio again. Mel in the mid lane. Different priorities for ONIC Philippines. They send Granger, Kelra, up top. So it's a 4v5 already. It'll be a trade for a turret.
Yep, they just let go of this turtle. King Kong passes through the members of HomeBois, nearly gets caught there. Oh, but the diversion will be able to send Super Friends away. So ONIC PH so far, they've just been mostly trading objectives for HomeBois. All 3 turtles, they did contest one, but not entirely even. It wasn't a full commit onto trying to contest that turtle.
Yep. They're avoiding fights, ONIC Philippines now. I think because they have identified that HomeBois have the better brawling composition, at least early on, just because of the damage output, the CC potential, as well of the Edith. I think this is really the game changer here for HomeBois. Even if you miss the Earth Shatter, that Primal Wrath does so much damage, and ONIC will have to kind of play around the window, which stays for quite a bit. And it's not just the Edith, it's Edith plus Harith and the Feather Air. There's so many, one cycle of cooldown abilities that make it very difficult for ONIC Philippines to force out longer fights.
That's true. I think that's going to be the keyword for this game. HomeBois, it feels like they have the better comp in terms of the sustained team fights that could happen later on. They have not just the Edith with the Primal Wrath, but even the Harith. Whereas ONIC Philippines, mainly because they have the Fanny, they have to be able to look for those big plays that they get immediate value out of. Because if not, HomeBois could always find a way to turn things around. And that's exactly what they seem to be respecting, as you mentioned. So ONIC PH might be playing it a little more safe for now, not unless they go for a target. That's going to be Vel. Will they have enough damage to burst him down, though? They do. Doesn't get to cast the Primal Wrath, and on the other side of the map, King Kong just fights Izanami. There's the Zaman Force already coming in from Melcutie, but Kirk is doing a great job at trying to stop him in his tracks. And that's 2 members they find from HomeBois.
ONIC Philippines caught HomeBois before they could even react to it. And they panicked. They really did. Izanami popped in for the airstrike in a pretty non-optimal spot. And now it's the full punish from ONIC Philippines, capitalizing. Look at the timer for ONIC Philippines. So clean in their decision as well. When they decide to go for a fight like that, it's always time to perfection towards the neutral objective spawning. They won't get it, but they have a slow push up top, so they've already built the setup for this fight.
Do they still want to commit? King Kong maybe will be able to catch up. Ivan already pretty low. Melcutie tries to go for Kelra. Phantom Execution already committed. Amal gets the last hit on the objective. Brusco gets punished, but King Kong flies in, looks for the target, and now ONIC PH just keep going at it. Vel is the only member left from the side of HomeBois, but they don't even care.
They want to end the game through top lane. Vel, can you defend without the Primal Wrath? I don't think ONIC can end right here, right? They have a cannon minion.
Will they actually do this? Vel, what can he do to deny this? There's the duality, gets to knock up 3 members, forces out the flicker out of Super Friends, but he gets taken down. And ONIC PH might try to go for it, but there's the Feathered Airstrike. They'll have to disengage. They have to run away.
A big gamble by ONIC Philippines. It doesn't pay off, but they don't get punished either. Like, they got a big base turret too, so in the end, it's so value for ONIC. And again, this has really just been the pattern of MSC 2025. Objectives sometimes are overrated when you can't really have a few of your members surviving after the objective, neutral ones, all right? And that's what we saw. HomeBois, they got the neutral objective, they used everything to get it, and ONIC Philippines really identified how they need to tackle these fights. They just have to attack from multiple different angles. They need to send one guy to bait out most of the resources, where in that case it was Kirk and Brusco that they sent forward, and then everybody can just come in and clean up.
Yeah, it also helped that Vel was kind of alone during that moment, so ONIC PH, it seemed like they did not hesitate to pour all of their resources, or most of their resources, on him, despite him being an Edith. And then, what? Was that an off-cam kill in the mid lane against Melcutie? these kinds of errors cannot happen if you're HomeBois, because those are the heroes who can potentially extend and prolong the fights for your team. And that's what ONIC PH does not want. But so far, they only have a single Holy Shield left, and even that gets popped. Brusco, will he go in? Feathered Airstrike just to clear the minion waves. HomeBois, who would have expected them to be this much behind after how they started things?
Great start by HomeBois, but a more amazing recovery from ONIC Philippines. It was just so clean by them. I don't know, it's the slowdown of the tempo into objective takes, into punishing the neutral objective setup of HomeBois, and the perfectly timed pickoffs. Gotta mention that too. King Kong also shaking the rust off. If you saw a early game Fanny, the way he was cabling, and the Fanny you see right now, you'd just expect, oh, that's two different players, right? Like the early game Fanny was someone else, now it's King Kong. But yeah, that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. When you don't play a certain hero for the longest time after it gets banned for, what, almost half a year, you'll need to shake off a bit of that rust when you get back onto it. I don't even think in scrims people want to deal with that. So ONIC Philippines, yeah, just had... They needed a bit more time to shake the rust off. Now they have everything. A slow push down below as well that Izanami will have to deal with. He will get sent down below. Conceal already from Ivan.
And was revealed by the Death Sonata too. So ONIC PH have full information on where majority of the members, at least, of HomeBois are. The taunt! Oh no! The onward catches King Kong for a moment though, but still Vel gets deleted. Not looking too good for HomeBois, but still they try to fight back. Kirk coming in from the sides! Gets to find the knock-up onto Izanami, forces out the wings by wings, but Ivan holding so much for ONIC PH, but Kirk's doing other things on the other side of the map, and Kelra finds the kill on Ivan.
Perfect execution by the reigning world champions. They know HomeBois need to utilize that cycle of skill. Once it's down, it's a big window of opportunity for ONIC Philippines to punish, and King Kong, without the purple buff, is looking for it.
Oh, somehow they get to cancel a mile. Death Sonata doesn't land, but it seems like they'll be able to take out all the remaining base turrets for HomeBois except the one down bottom. Discipline from ONIC PH. Diversion out, and they do not risk it.
No. ONIC Philippines go back to the calm and composed nature that they've been showing from game number 1. At least after they saw how HomeBois reacted to their plays. King Kong, yes, we saw the turret very low. King Kong will just dash in, no minions, no problem. Sieges it down all alone, and that makes it 3 base turrets down. Slow push built up forever in the bottom lane.
They just want all the super minions, I guess. Oh, but there's the flicker combo coming in from Vel, but the counter Tsunami Slam onto Melcutie gets him punished. King Kong finding a way to look for the targets on ONIC PH and uses the cutthroat to get through the wall. Now on a monster kill against Izanami. Amal trying his best to escape, uses the iframes, but Kelra's chasing after him. And it's only Amal left alone to defend.
We've seen miracles in the past, but Amal has to walk all the way back.
Phantom Execution tries to clear the wave, but gets blasted by Kelra. And it seems like the day of sweeps will continue.